shockingly, some Republican congressmen are terrified over this redistricting fight that's occurring. Primarily, these would be Republican congressmen that are in blue states because their job is in danger. Well, of course, they're terrified. These people have no spines. They're going to lose their job, and Fox News isn't going to hire them. They rolled over for Trump in order to keep their jobs. What do you think of course they're going to oppose the redistricting. They bowed down and did everything Trump wanted, even though they might be in a blue state because they were scared of Trump was going to primary them or say mean things about them or give them a nickname on Twitter. So they totally disregarded their districts. They totally disregarded their states, and they voted like a radical Republican agenda. Medicaid cuts, tariffs. They ceded over their authority to the executive, paving the way for potentially a dictatorship in the United States, all because they were scared of losing their jobs. And now guess what? The MAGA-ist of maggoty states, Texas, is pulling shenanigans that might cost them their job. And all of a sudden they're all on the news shows like, oh, hey, we can, oh, no, we can't do this. Stop that. Can't do it. No, I disagree with what Texas is doing. Now that some Democratic governors have found their spot and are, fighting back and saying, you know what, Texas redistricts, we'll redistrict our Republicans out. Why not? That's fair. If the other side is cheating in a game, you cheat back or you don't play. Well, you don't have an option of not playing this game. We all have to play this game. Our republic is at risk. So, of course, you're going to redistrict. Why not? Okay, Mike Lawler is one of those, and we'll get to the video here in a second. But yeah, what's he going to do if he loses his job? He's not going to Fox News. Newsmax isn't going to hire him. Or look at probably some Illinois congressman, Republican congressman from downstate. Dude, you lose your job. Fox News isn't going to hire you. Dude, you're from Carbondale. You're not getting a host job on Fox News like MAGA Mike would, or Laura Trump, or any of the others. You're from Carbondale. You're a backbencher. You literally have made no impact other than to vote exactly what Trump wants. And now you're worried that there might be something that comes after your congressional visit. I mean, you probably can't. I mean, some of those guys like Mike Lawler and everything else, they probably can't even get a job at a think tank or something else because all those slots are taken. You're not MAGA enough. You didn't make enough splash. Anyway, let's look at some video because the redistricting fight is very interesting. Here's Mike Lawler a couple days ago.
Were decided by 5 points or less. That tells you everything you need to know about the fact that most seats are not competitive. They are solely won or lost based on the primary. And so from my vantage point, coming from a district that has 80,000 more Democrats than Republicans, I obviously am very focused on a general election. And I think the reality is our country would be better served and Congress would be better served if more seats were competitive. So this effort that we have seen, and by the way, it didn't just start with Texas. New York did mid-decade redistricting last year. They went to court and forced a new map and took the opportunity to redraw the lines and pick up 3 seats in the process. So this idea somehow that this just started with Texas is a joke, especially when you look at the fact that we just had a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin that was basically run on the idea that there would be redistricting in Wisconsin. So this is mutually assured destruction. We're seeing Democrats and Republicans seek to gain advantage through the redistricting process. And from my perspective, it's wrong. And that's why I'm introducing legislation to ban gerrymandering nationwide. This is not how the process.
Yeah, Mike, you're suddenly concerned because there's a ton more Democrats in your district now than previously. Shocker, you're concerned now. Bet your voting record. Let's look at Mike Lawler's voting record. This should be interesting. Did Mike Lawler vote for the big beautiful bill? There it is, right there. Oh, he did. He voted for the big beautiful bill. Well, I guess there's only one thing you can say about that one. Exactly. Now there's others. Newsweek actually has a very good article. So here's Kevin Kiley. He's from California, so obviously he's against. Mike Lawler, a lot of New York representatives are obviously against it. Blake Moore from Utah. That one I'm not sure why. I don't think that one makes a whole lot of sense. Thomas Massey, who's actually turned out to be a surprising vocal critic due to the Epstein files, basically said a pox on both your houses. It was very Romeo and Juliet of him. Now, MAGA Mike Johnson, who is starting to become embroiled in a scandal of himself about using campaign funds to pay rent for his place in DC, which, keep in mind, the guy's not his financial disclosure claims that he has no bank account. I don't know of any human being that doesn't have a bank account. He says California has a problem. They've got to amend the state constitution, as I understand the law out there. So basically, because we have no laws against it, we're so totally going to follow the law. Blue states tried to get rid of gerrymandering and put it in their constitution. Well, so he's basically pure evil. New York Governor Kathy Hochul. If Republicans are willing to rewrite these rules to give themselves an advantage, then they're leaving us no choice. We must do the same. There's a phrase, you have to fight fire with fire. That is a true statement of how we're feeling right now. And as I've said, another overused but applicable phrase, all is fair in love and war. That's why I'm exploring with our leaders every option to redraw our state congressional lines as soon as possible. If you've listened this far, I would love if you'd hit like and subscribe, drop some comments. And Republican Congress people that are suddenly finding a backbone to not even go against Trump. They don't say his name. They just blame it on Texas. But I mean, Trump pushed this. He's the one that asked publicly for 5 votes or 5 more seats, kind of like how he wanted to find 10,000 or more votes in Georgia. This is not right. None of this is right. None of this is how it's supposed to go. They'll vote for the big, beautiful bill. They'll give Trump all the power in the world. But suddenly, when their jobs are on the line, they find a backbone. Where was it before? You don't think your constituents will vote for someone that will actually vote against tariffs that are raising their grocery prices? You don't think your constituents are going to vote for someone that is going to vote against a bill that's going to take away their health care? Had you found a spine 6 months ago, you wouldn't even be in this mess. We wouldn't be in this mess. And maybe you'd be negotiating with the White House, and when you lose your job, you might get that cushy gig at CNN or something like that. But you didn't, so you aren't. So when the redistricting happens, because Texas is going to get it through, Democrats from Texas are doing the best they can, but these are normal people. They can't leave their lives for a year or more in order to prevent this. So this is going to happen. The redistricting is going to happen in other states. And sorry, Kevin Kiley, and sorry, Mike Lawler, you guys are probably going to lose your jobs. And then you're going to have to do real work for a change because you aren't working for the American people in Congress. Thank you very much for watching. And if you really could, it would really help out is to hit like and subscribe. Have a good night, everybody.